So welcome back guys, this is Madhav PVL and today we are going to see the whole thing about the processes in Unix operating system. So basically it is an execution of a program which consists of bytes that CPU interrupts as instructions. One process will communicate with the other process via system calls. A process in Unix is an entity that is created by a fork system call. So we'll just discuss one by one. So it's an execution of a program which consists of bytes that CPU interrupts as instructions. CPU need to give instructions to complete a particular program. So it is an execution of a program which consists of bytes that CPU interrupts as instructions. One process will communicate with other process via system calls. So with the help of system calls, one process will communicate with the other process, because one system call will require some of the process which were being executed in another process. So they will just communicate with each other randomly to just complete its system call. A process in Unix is an entity that is created by a fork system call. We need to execute this fork system call to just create a process. For the creation of a process, we need to just execute this fork system call. We will just discuss about this fork system call later. Now let us just concentrate on this process of Unix. And then except the zero process, every process is created with the fork system call. So we will just discuss one by one. So invoked from a fork system call parent process. So after executing after executing a fork system call, so if something invoked, if a process is invoked from the system call, then it is known as a parent process. Invoked from a system call is a parent process, whereas newly created from this fork system call is called as a child process. What is invoke? What is newly created? Invoke in the sense the thing which we will get from the fork system call during the process. Even before completing the execution of a fork system call, we will just invoke something, right? So that is our parent process, whereas newly created is nothing but after the completion of this fork system call, we will just get something process which is known as a child process. So only one parent, but there may be many number of children. So that is a main agenda of this process, only one parent but many children. So each process is identified with a process ID, PID. So it will have a process ID, unique process ID for each process. Each process will have its unique process ID. So executable file. So in a process, in any process, executable file plays a major role. So executable file contains set of headers. They are attribute files. So attributes of a file, headers are nothing but the things which a particular file required to just start a particular process are the header files. So program text, that is code, the code which is required for a particular process, program text, and then symbols which represent where to start the execution and how much space kernel should allocate, which is called as a block started by a symbol. So symbols are nothing but the semicolons, brackets, and then double quotes, or sometimes a full stops. In Java we consider full stops. So whatever it may be, symbols represent where to start execution and where to do whatever it is required. So symbols plays a major role in a particular code. So I will just show this basic code which is written in a C program. So here these are the header files. So these are the header files, as all of you know. So these are the header files, and this is a buffer. Buffer is I will just discuss now. And then version, this is a variable, and then printf hello world. So here we can just see like these are the variables, and this is a main function, and this is a printf statement. So here, until here, this variable is completed. Here in the sense, let me just show you. Here in the sense, this semicolon. Until here, this is defined. Until here, this is defined. Until if these bracket is there, this symbol is there, then main is being built. So this is a curly braces for the starting of a main, and this is ending of a main, and this is a statement. And for this statement to just print something, if it is a character, then this is the thing which is required. So this is the thing which is required. Here we can just see, right? So yeah, so if it is a character or a string, then we need to just involve these things to just write some statement or whatever it may be. So initialized version is a variable, uninitialized is a buffer in this given code. So buffer is uninitialized, and then initialized is nothing but int version. We had just declared it its value, version is equal to 1, so that is the value. So process for execution of a code. So if we just click in this thing, so here we can just say like gcc -c compile the code and then name it as something, and if we just try to run some code, then these are the steps which were involved in the execution of a particular code. So step 1, kernel loads the executable file into the main memory. The executable file is nothing but which consists of these header files and then the text code or whatever it may be. So this is an executable file. These are the things which were in this executable file. So step 2, it consists of text, data and stack. So what is stack? Stack is nothing but it will be in a position like this. So one after the another, it will be like some floors or a CD disks. Stack we had just discussed in our basic first year subjects. So stack, it consists of text, data and stack. Text and data belongs to test and block source, block started by the symbol sections of an executable file. So text and data belongs to text and here the symbols thing. So the stack is created automatically by the kernel itself. So this need not be created by the user. So this is not done by the user. This is done by the kernel itself. So the stack regions gets pushed when function calls. So in a kernel, if the function is called, then the stack will just push. The stack gets pushed. So the stack gets popped while returning the value. So here it is main. If we just mention it as an int main, then we need to just return something with an integer, right? So that return value, then the stack gets popped in the sense it will just get out of that loop. So stack pointer indicates the depth. Stack pointer is nothing but 0th value, 1, 2, 3. So it just represents the stages of a stack. Stack pointer will represent the stages of a particular stack. It consists of the parameters of a function, local variables, data necessary to recover the previous frame, value of a program counter. So these are the things which were consisted in this particular stack. Parameters of a function, local variables, data necessary to recover the previous frame, value of a program counter. Separate stacks for both user and kernel mode. So there will be separate stacks for both user and kernel mode. A trap instruction is executed which causes an interrupt to switch hardware to kernel mode. So if a program is getting executed in a user mode, then if it need to just switch on to the kernel mode, then a trap instruction is produced to perform a switch in between this hardware to kernel mode. So kernel stack is null if the process is being executed in the user mode.